My art is pointless. Or maybe I should say promptless. As my friend, an AI expert, once told me, algorithms are not good at answering when there is no question. And that's exactly what artists do. Hi, I'm a painter with a master's degree in architecture. For as long as I can remember, I was most creative when I didn't know exactly what I am doing and what I want to achieve. Some kind of curiosity was driving me to the unknown. When I was 12, I was introduced to graffiti, thanks to my older friend, and I was so excited that I convinced my dad to buy my first spray cans to make my first piece just next day. And then another, some big wall in front of our school, thanks to my art teacher. And another. I was quite active graffiti writer, but my father wasn't so enthusiastic about that, of course, especially when visiting police stations. But I needed to develop my own style. I was turning the sketching into a kind of puzzle, just to be painted when it's solved. And even I was remembering some of them by mind to have a better painting with one line, without stopping the spray. And one night, I forgot how it goes, and I was forced to improvise. And then I realized I don't need to design my graffiti sketches anymore. I know the guidelines so well, I can just freestyle. It gives me a lot more. I'm focused entirely on the process of creation, not on rescaling the sketch. This kind of approach led me to experiment with that during my studies on architectural design. My thesis project was some kind of going into unknown, because I wanted to combine some components I know already exist in technology, like AR, 3D printing, and a lot of different things, to propose a very interactive urbanistic substance area that was augmented reality laboratory. Just picture this, people can change the parts of the building on demand according to what they need on these virtual layers, and everything is not closed. It's open form all the time and evolving to the needs of users. I was also working as a regular architect, and I remember one day when I developed some interesting rule of dividing space while designing a window. Basically, for me, it was so interesting again that when I came home, I extended this rule into very large graphics and studying it for months with different coloring, different variation. And then I found a really interesting sequence of colors in the corner or of one of those. This, for mathematicians could be trivial, but for the artist, even such a simple structures are very potential. So I use it to express the distance in my murals and paintings. And when I realized I can shuffle its components, I get 5 more of such sequences. And when I got 6, it's probably possible to make some hexagons with that. This led me to experimenting even more. The research was further and further, even more cubic when it's cycled. I develop cubic forms that were very quickly became a main subject in my paintings and further research. It was probably possible because I also studied color. This is a RGB Cube. This is a space that contains every color. It's mathematically structuralized by numbers, but what I wanted to say is that my paintings or objects I compose in them are somehow inside that space. So every color, every different color shines from different directions. That's why I need to do a lot of color algebra to be precise in what color is where. I note such an operation in my Pixel notebook, where I found also the special structure for my sequences on hyperbolic plane. I'm very interested in one section of that plane that contains 8 triangles that have one component in common, and they merge into a hexagon with 10 vertices. So easily can be transformed into decagon. And I wanted to find out how many such decagons there are. When I realized that there are so many possible variations of such structures, I started to implement computer coding to choose for me by random some of the parameters. And it was the first time I truly naturally merged 2 disciplines I practice, because I generate graphics since 2006. Now I somehow work on the intersection of generative art and painting. In such a project, I needed to count exactly how many decagons there are, so of course I did it, just you don't need to. The structure I get after make them as one group, it's very complicated, but as you can see, I just connected the dots, but in 8th dimension. It's a very complex structure, and I don't know yet what I will do with it, but I'm really excited how it will appear in my paintings. And as you can see, there's a lot of combinatorics, a lot of mathematics in my creative process. And you can ask, why is it like that? I am on some kind of journey and just make discoveries I want to show. And also I visit places in that, let's call it space, where nobody ever been. I don't follow exactly the scientific method yet, but I think I fulfill the main purpose of it. It's filling the gaps in knowledge. And when I found something interesting, I study it and I present it. So is it just the best way to find the image that nobody ever seen? I don't design my murals, my paintings. And I think, what about you? Would you trust me if I show you nothing? Because not every art needs to have a certainty at the beginning. If I would know how would something looks at the end, I just don't need to paint it. This would be truly pointless. Just please don't prompt a human artist. Some of them have a mystery to be uncovered, and that's the idea worth spreading. Thank you.